Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie?
Last week, we arrived at Great Keppel Island and jumped in the crystal clear water and gave the hulls a much needed scrub. This week, we are headed to Pearl Bay and finding out just how much of a difference a clean hull makes to our speed. But first, we are doing some improvements to the anchor chain and fixing a problem with the furling line to the head sail.
Morning. We're up nice and early this morning. There's 42 boats in the bay here at Great Keppel Islands all around us. It's an absolute beautiful glass out day. There's people paddleboarding and stuff already. That's awesome. And basically a whole heap of them are leaving early tomorrow morning to head north, so we thought we might do it, but it means I've got to quickly finish up the boat jobs. I'm stitching up some old crab pots at the moment, just finding all the holes and redoing all the stitching in them. And there's a couple of other small jobs that we have. One of them is these lines that run along the outside here. There's normally 3 of them. I've taken one of them out already, and the black one is for the dagger boards, and this green and white one here is the furling line for the head sail. And when there's 3 there, basically the way these plaited ropes work is they've got an inner core, which is most of the strength, and then an outer sheath, and the sheath is there in order to be able to handle them so much better and not be as slippery in your hands. The disadvantage of that is when they're next to each other under tension, they create a remarkable amount of friction. So what my plan to do is try and separate them slightly somehow so there's not quite as much friction when we have to put away the head sail. So for now, what I've done is I've taken away this blue and white rope, and this here is what puts the dagger boards down, and then the black one is what holds them up. The black one has to be there from the way it's run. The other job that I have this morning is our anchor chain here is starting to make rub marks here and along the grate, and I'm just going to put little pieces of Teflon here just so it's got something to slide across to reduce the wear that this will have over time. So those are the quick jobs, and I've got to finish the hull scrub today. So once we've done all those, we're going to go around the front of the Keppel Islands and upload some videos for you guys, and yeah, hopefully head off about midnight, 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and head up to Pearl Bay. So we're going to get cracking. So we've found these little bits of Teflon already on board, so it means that our chopping board survives one more day. We're going to try these and put these evenly spaced out along here, and then I've got a bit of rubber to go on the front there to stop the chafing, and then I've also got these little friction rings here, and the friction rings are what I'm going to put the rope through, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so the rubber that I found didn't actually fit, so I'm going to use a lid just on the front here to stop all of this here friction. So this is going to be one of my temporary jobs that has no hope of ever becoming a permanent one. It will definitely be temporary until we can get a small chopping board or something to put in there and last a bit longer. Alright, so I've just finished it. So we've got the lid that we've attached here, and then we have the Teflon pieces here. Now I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, and that's that it's a fairly ugly fix, and why wouldn't you fix it properly? And basically we're not near any shops at the moment, so the way I look at it is with the consequences. If this temporary fix works, what's going to happen? It's going to stop doing the wear that we've identified. If it doesn't work, it's only going to wear as it was wearing if we'd done nothing anyway. The bits and pieces that I've used aren't essential or planned for any kind of other projects. I couldn't even find the base for this lid, and these here I just found in the back lockers. So I'm always of the belief that doing something is better than doing nothing. So anytime we identify something, we'll always try and look after the boat as best we can, and yeah, find bits and pieces on board until we get to the shops. And we will be at the shops in a week and a half, depending on winds. And yeah, we can, if this doesn't last, we'll get some proper stuff and fix it all properly. The second job that we have here today is just trying to reduce the friction on the lines so we can put the head sails away a bit better. So we're gonna pull this furling line through, thread it through these friction rings, attach the friction rings to the rails fore and aft, and we'll be going sailing either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, and we'll see how well the fix works. So I've just finished putting all the friction rings on, and I've used hollow VB cord, and then I've had to actually put 4 of them in due to the camber of the deck. It was slipping down. This here is the black line that we're getting a lot of the friction from, and that's the one that holds the dagger board up, and the blue one pulls it down. And I was able to skip this one. My plan was just to put it front and back, but due to the camber I had to put an extra 2 in there as well. And I've only tied them on at the moment. The main reason being is I'm just testing it out to see how it works, and if it works well, then I will drill and tap some screws in there and make a lot more permanent an option. And yeah, we're going to go for a sail, and we'll let you know how well they do.
It's 11 p.m. and we're leaving Great Keppel Island and heading to Pearl Bay. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Sam likes to get us up super early to catch the tide. The winds come in, and we're gonna catch the wind up, and it should die out around, what, 1 p.m?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just put the mainsail up while on anchor, so that was a bit of fun.
It's a beautiful night. It's almost a full moon out. You can see a lot, and I was having trouble sleeping anyway, so we figured, yeah, why not? Let's head on off.
And so at the moment there's a military exclusion zone.
Yeah, so on both legs today and our next leg, whenever we do that, we've got to go out and around an exclusion zone. There's a live fire exercise on at the moment, so we're not allowed in those areas at all. But we won't be getting up close to those areas till daylight, so if there's any big ships or I don't know, anything like that, we'll check it out. And our passage plan has us going right on the edge of the exclusion zone, no further than we have to. So the plan is to head up to Pearl Bay. We haven't been there before, so yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. And there's a whole heap of other boats that'll be coming up there with us, so yeah, be able to check it out.
Yeah, there's like 8 other boats coming, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, heaps of fun.
And we've just scrubbed the bum. We've got one engine on, 1,200 revs, only the main up, and going 5.5 knots. Going beautifully. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's the main up. And we're gonna go ahead and put out the head sail.
Yeah, we will. And it was great. There's a whole group of us heading north. We're hopefully going to stick with them for quite a while. They enjoy having bonfires on the beach and hanging out and paddleboarding and being adventurous. So yeah, we weren't planning to leave this early. We were going to spend nearly an extra 4 or 5 days at the Keppels, but this opportunity's come up, so yeah, off we go.
We had sundowner drinks on the beach the other night. People were coming around on boats, and we went to the beach. Then there was 35 boats in the bay that night, and I think like 80% of them showed up, and like all the people were like, yeah, we're leaving Friday, when are you leaving? And we're like, well, let's leave Friday. And then Sam's like, let's leave at 11 p.m.
I wanted to catch the wind because if it drops out and we're not there, then we're motoring, and I don't want to do that. So I don't mind staying awake a little bit extra. They're probably not going to leave till the early hours of the morning, so I'll just get a bit of a sleep in before everyone arrives, and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed then, without running the engines.
This is the notice to mariners for the live firing activities happening around the Shoalwater Bay area, and the map for the no-go zones. We are headed to Pearl Bay, which is located here. Hi, 7 a.m. day 2. We've got 2 reefs in the main. We're about 3 nautical miles away from Pearl Bay. We're going 8.8 knots. So doing the hull scrub really helped. Sam's super stoked.
Yeah, we left early because there wasn't meant to be much wind, and you can probably hear in the mic there's plenty of wind and we're doing really well, so I wanted to get here by lunchtime. It looks like we're parked up by 9 o'clock in the morning. It's perfect.
And we reefed once, then and then reefed again, and we were still going 8.89 knots. Okay, so we were going that fast that the mic only picked up the wind. So we're running with 2 reefs in the main. So you can see our second reef point here and our third reef point up there. So we reefed once, which has already been put in the bag, and then we reefed again, which means that we put the sail down to the second reef. We also have a third reef that's in there for storms or when it gets really windy. But basically, we are super impressed with the boat right now, as we are running with reduced sail area, having the second reef in and still going 8.8, 9 knots, and sometimes hitting 10 surfing down waves. So we're super stoked with the hull scrub. And she's handling it like an absolute legend. She's such a champion. We've just put the head sail away. Only the main is up, which has 2 reefs in it, and we're still going 7.7 knots.
Beautiful.
We had a fantastic sail. We expected to arrive at Pearl Bay around lunchtime, and instead we were anchored up by 8 o'clock in the morning.
The friction wings work way better than they did before. They're going to do for now. We're going to keep investigating a little bit better an option. I found that if it's blowing more than 15 knots, I still have trouble pulling it away back here, and I have to put out the staysail to blanket it in order to be able to pull it in. But if it's less than 15, I can. So we've got the furling line here, runs around that block, and there's the jammer. When we go to let it out, I just throw it in the cockpit, flake it, and then pull on, release the lazy sheet, pull on the main sheet, and away we go. And it slides through perfectly. What we used to have to do is walk up to the bow every single time, and we would pull the green line through here because of all the friction, flake it out on the deck so that it was loose here. The problem with that is there was no tension on the block, and it would be a bit low, and all of the line would bind up in the bottom here and then jam between this post and the bottom. So now it works so much better. just with some stuff we found on board. Like I said, there's still a little bit of friction in there. It's still a little bit awkward to put away in the stronger winds, so we may have to look at a little bit better alternative. And we're also looking at different drill bits to make an electric winch as well, so either one of those alternatives will work for us, but we'll keep you posted as to how it goes.
Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying our videos and would like to help support us making videos and content, consider becoming a patron. The link is in the description below the video.